Welcome to the first video of the AutoCAD Basics video series. Now, this is something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now. I've been using AutoCAD for nearly 25 years. And one of the things that I find difficult with using software for so long is, first of all, it kind of becomes part of your DNA, right? You just open up the software and you start banging on the keys and clicking the mouse and things happen. It becomes second nature to you. But one thing that I do understand with new users is this can be a very intimidating software from the surface, of course. So you open it up, you have this, this big ribbon with all these buttons and commands on it, and you have this big black window staring back at you, and really no guidance of where to start. So I've been looking for different guides to help teach new users how to use AutoCAD. And I came across on the Autodesk Knowledge Network the Hitchhikers Guide to AutoCAD Basics, which you see on the screen now. Now, for disclosure, this is not my work. This is not anything that I came up with. This is right from the Autodesk Knowledge Network, and I'll be sure to copy a link to this in the description below. So the intent of this video series is really just to elaborate on this Hitchhikers Guide, because I think it does a phenomenal job of walking new users through from the start to finish of how to navigate the world of AutoCAD so that you can start building up the knowledge that you have. Now, one disclaimer that I do have for you is that no two AutoCAD users use AutoCAD the same way. AutoCAD's been around for such a long time that as the software developed, they kept older ways of doing things in the software as they added new things. Now, that's not to say that any way is more correct than the other, but what I do want to say to you is develop your own style. Find other mentors that use AutoCAD, and kind of pick and choose what you take from them, and develop your own style. Over, again, my 25 years of using AutoCAD, I still learn something new every time I work with a new user. They show me something different, and I add that to my toolbox of using the software. So if someone's trying to give you information of how to do a certain command or how to do a certain sequence of commands, whatever it may be, and it seems different than what you're used to, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're wrong. Doesn't mean that they're more right. There's just more than one way to do things in AutoCAD. So I just want to make sure that I get that out of the way. So let's take a quick view through the guide that we have here, starting with the basics. Right, we're start right here. We've got all these little mountains here, and the basics really just start. We're going to start off with the lay of the land of AutoCAD and look at some basic AutoCAD controls. Then we're going to kick right over to the next mountain here and talk about viewing and drawing order and the order of overlapping objects and how to pan, how to zoom, just navigate the AutoCAD world. Then we're going to kick over to geometry. That's where we're actually going to start obviously making geometry and making some drawings with some simple commands like circles, lines, hatching, rectangle command, that type of thing. Then we're going to kick over to the precision mountain here to make sure that we understand how to precisely make our drawings, whether it be a model or an architectural floor plan, whatever it may be. We have the opportunity to draw it very precise with AutoCAD, which is one of the great features of it, so we want to make sure we're using that correctly. And then over to this little mountain right here, the layers layer. I think this is kind of the unsung hero of AutoCAD. You think of layers as different pieces of paper layered on top of each other, and you can really change and manipulate the way that AutoCAD functions and the way your final product looks by understanding the layers. Then we're going to go over to properties, where we can dive a little further into how our colors look, how our line types are, change individual objects on the fly, again, and just kind of fine tune our objects. And then we're going to go to this large mountain of modifying. Right now, this looks like a lot of different layers here, a lot of topography in this mountain, but I promise you it's not as scary as it looks. Understanding how to modify objects in AutoCAD in different ways not only allows you to create better drawings, it actually improves your workflow and allows you to create drawings faster. There just seems to be a lot of commands for that, but we'll go through each one of those separately so you understand them, and you can add those little tips and tricks to your toolbox. Then we're going to go over to blocks. Now, blocks are really handy if you're creating or if you have a drawing that requires repetition. So say, for example, you have an architectural drawing and you have a door symbol. Well, you're going to probably put more than one door inside of your architectural drawing, so you can make a door block. Or if you're making a part and it requires a certain screw or fastener, you can make a block of a screw and fastener. So you draw it once and that's it, and you can use it throughout your drawing. Then we're going to go over to layouts, and you can think of layouts as your piece of paper. So we draw in what's called model space, where we draw everything in true scale, and obviously we want to scale things down so we can fit them on a piece of paper, and that's what layouts are going to do for us. And now they're going to kick over to notes and labels. Now every time we draw something, we try to draw it as accurately as possible and convey as much graphical information as we can, but there are times that we need to add notes and labels and other types of annotation to our drawings to properly convey the information that we're trying to put forth with our drawings and our designs. And kind of along the same lines of that, we have a little mount here for dimensions. There are many different types of dimensions and different ways to dimension, and we're going to look at how to navigate those. And then at the end of our journey, we're going to stop right out at printing, where we're going to take our design, put it on a layout, and actually print it to PDF or print it to a plotter, or just print it to an 8.5 by 11, whatever it may be. So I'm looking forward to continuing on with this series. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, I'm always up for listening to that and interacting with you folks. So I hope you enjoy.